welcome to Telugu Academy. In today's geography, that too in AP geography, we are going to see about irrigation. Irrigation and neeti parudala. So first of all, for any agriculture to flourish, it needs water. So water is the basis for any cultivation or agriculture. So irrigation, what is irrigation? It can be of two types, like rain-fed. In some places, in some regions, so there is no need of artificial or man-made irrigation. So rain-fed, it's naturally through rains only, like monsoons. So Indian agriculture mostly depend on monsoons. That is one type of irrigation. So others we made so many kinds of conveniences, types of irrigation, so that our agriculture is flourished. Through agriculture, we get food, economy is developed, and there will be overall development. So now we are going to see what is irrigation. So what is exactly irrigation? Definition. So irrigation is a artificial application of water to the soil or agricultural field. So it's an external application, like it's not natural. So it's an intervention of the human being. We knowingly or wantedly get the sources of water from one place to the concerned agricultural field, to the farms. So it's an artificial application of water to the soil or agricultural field. It is a replacement or supplementation of rainwater with another source of water. Yeah, in some places, every place is not rain fed. All over the globe or all over India or all over the state, every region is not equally like rain fed. In some places there are heavy rains, some places are drought areas, in some places very medium or nominal rains. So for that reason, but also in spite of rains, in spite of natural irrigation or natural waterfall, also people do agriculture in those particular places. They take the help of irrigation, that is artificially applying water, bringing from other sources like wells, canals, tanks, pipelines, drip. There are so many types of irrigation. So every region is not equally distributed in rainfalls. Some regions will have heavy rainfall, some are very less or low rainfalls. For that region, government should government should make their policies in which areas, in which concerned areas where rain is very minimal or drought prone areas, they should make the facility to wet their fields of farms with irrigation facilities. So it is a replacement of supplementation of rainwater with another source of water. When there is no rainwater, we'll take another sources of water like rivers, channels, canals or whatever. So it is used in dry areas and during periods of inadequate rainfall. First of all, it is used in dry areas. Dry areas means if there is rainfall, sufficient rainfall, there is no need of irrigation or extra supplement of water. Only in those areas. Particularly, we know that monsoon is only for 4 months. In 365 days or 12 months, monsoon stays for only 4 months. So what about all the other 8 months? So in that 8 months, definitely that region, okay, you can say like, ma'am, when there is rainwater, so groundwater is filled, it will be sufficient for well irrigation. Yeah, okay, that is the point. But depending upon the crops, types of crops they are cultivating, types of farms they do have, like fruiticulture in or rice, paddy needs lots of water. In those kinds of crops or farms, irrigation facilities are must, even if those areas are adequate in rainfall also. They must have other sources of irrigation. That is even for rain-fed areas, and especially irrigation and done in the areas of dry areas where the region is dry. Like when coming to Andhra, it is in the Rayalaseema areas where rainfall is very low and minimal. When coming to Rajasthan, India, when it's in Rajasthan areas need lots of irrigation. supplements, extra canals and all. So, an inadequate rainfall. Yes, in some regions we do have rainfall, but that is not sufficient. Rainfall is there, but that is not sufficient for that agriculture to survive or for that type of vegetation in that particular region. For that reason, irrigation is must and should. So the main idea, what is the main idea behind, like why should we have irrigation? So the main idea behind irrigation system is to assist the growth of agricultural crops and plants by maintaining with the minimum amount of water required, suppressing weed growth in grain fields, preventing soil consolidation, etc. What's the basic idea of why should we have irrigation? Because that's a simple reason, to provide minimum amount, how much amount that crop needed, the particular crop needed. For that reason, irrigation is must and should, and that is a minimum amount, mean how much, not excess or not not less or not high. So not excess or not surplus one. Next one is, see, whenever you observe any fields like closely or in TVs, there are some weeds in between. Weeds means kalupu mokkal antaru kada. So in between there are weeds. So even if there is excess surplus of water, excess flow of irrigation means obviously in the crop fields, with the cultivation, even the other weeds also grow, unnecessary weeds also grow. So how much is needed? For that reason, irrigation is maintained, not like it should not be a flooded irrigation. So much of water means what we'll do? Even unnecessary things also, plants also grow with the crops. To control the weeds in the grains and preventing soil consolidation. If there is excess of water, what happens? What does the water do? It will take away the top layer of the soil. So if, see, this is our field, okay? This is our field. If there is excess, like surplus of water, what it will do? This top layer, after some period of time, this top layer of the soil is eroded. So even excess irrigation is also very dangerous to the crops. Even farmers has to be very careful while wetting their fields. They have to maintain the balance. Inadequate irrigation will leads into acidity of the soil. Excess irrigation leads to erosion of the top layer of the soil. So preventing the soil consolidation, etc. So rain is not sufficient all over the globe, all over the country, all over the place. So we should take the help of artificial irrigation, that is like rivers, rains or wells, whatever we construct. So in India, we do have so many types of irrigation, but we look into the very famous and very well practiced types of irrigation. The oldest technique of irrigation, oldest means age old, like since generations people are practicing one kind of irrigation, that is well. దాన్ని మనం నూతులు అంటాం కదా, బావి. So well irrigation, that is well and tubewell irrigation. People used to ఏరువాక అంటారు, అంటే they construct a well. సో దాంట్లోంచి ఒక కర్రలాగా పెట్టి దానికి ఒక చిన్న బుట్టలాగా పెట్టి దే కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పుల్లీ, ఇట్స్ ఎ పుల్లీ. దే టేక్ ద వాటర్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ వెల్ అండ్ like wet their farms. It's the oldest like age old irrigation type of irrigation. So coming to well and tubewell irrigation. Wells are mainly found in, this is a scenario in all over India. Wells are mainly found in UP, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, even Andhra, Telangana, etc. There are various types of wells. Like we know shallow wells, ante konni బావిలు ఉంటాయి, నూతులు. అవి ఎలా అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా పొలంకి ఈక్వల్గా ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. చాలామంది దాంట్లో పడిపోతూ ఉంటారు. అంటే ఇఫ్ వీఆర్ నాట్, దానికి ఒక కాంపౌండ్ వాల్ అంటూ ఉండదు. జస్ట్ నేలతో ఈక్వల్గా ఉంటుంది. సో దాని నేల బావులు అంటారనమాట. ఇఫ్ కొంచెం మనకి కేర్లెస్గా ఉంటే దేర్ ఇస్ ఎనీ ఛాన్స్ దట్ వీ మే స్లిప్ ఇన్ దట్ వెల్. సో అలాంటివి. నెక్స్ట్ డీప్ వెల్స్, ట్యూబ్ వెల్స్, artesian wells, etc. So wells also, so many types of wells. Some wells are like everyone must have seen the experience of well. Like some people even do swimming or diving in the wells also in their childhoods in villages. So we have seen so many wells. Deep wells. Deep wells means nearly they are 60-40 feet, 60-70 feet below the ground. So they are throughout the year. So they don't dry up that easily. Shallow wells. These wells are hardly 15 or 20 feet deep. So there are chances of drying in summer season. Next one is tube wells. Tube wells means you can say something like this. So they construct a well, but only purpose of irrigation. There is no other purpose. No, they don't drink water. They don't. That is not for only domestic use. That is only for agricultural use. They they drain water from that well and they use for their farms. So wells are like so many types. We get so many types of wells all over India. Next, from the shallow wells, water is not always available as the level of water goes down during the dry months. If the well is shallow, means obviously it will get dry in the summers. So if the well is deep, means if deep in the sense it will be near to the underwater table. So it will not dry that easily as comparatively shallow wells. So deep wells are more suitable for irrigation. Deep wells, mostly people do take the help of irrigation from the deep wells only, because the water is available throughout the year. So we'll see the picture. This is well irrigation. This is well irrigation. This is, I don't think so, this is a shallow well. This seems to be a deep well. They take the tube from the well and they irrigate their fields. They make a tank and they store the water, and from there whenever they need it, they irrigate their fields. Next one is canal irrigation. Canal irrigation is very famous all over India and all over the state of Andhra Pradesh. So canal irrigation means they construct a small channel from a big river or a big source of water body or any reservoirs. So from that they take, with the helps of tubes or pipes, they irrigate their fields. So canals can be an effective source of irrigation in areas of low level relief. Yeah, low level relief means if the height of the fields, the elevation, the altitude of the fields are not too high, means canal irrigation is very effective and very useful. So deep fertile soils, perennial sources of water and extensive command area. Therefore the main concentration of canal irrigation is in the northern plain of India, especially the areas comprising Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab. We almost see these northern states of India, they do take the help of canals. Almost every field, every area they do have a canal. Even మీరు అలా కూడా కాదు, నార్దర్న్ ఇండియానే కాదు, మన ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్లోని మీరు ఉభయ గోదావరి జిల్లాల్లోకి వెళ్తే, లైక్ ఈస్ట్ అండ్ వెస్ట్ గోదావరిలో త్రూ అవుట్ మీరు కాకినాడ నుంచి కానీ సామర్లకోట నుంచి కానీ బై రోడ్ ట్రావెల్ చేస్తే మీకు లెఫ్ట్కో రైట్కో త్రూ అవుట్ లైక్ ఒక కెనాల్ పాస్ అవుతుంటుంది అనమాట. అంటే గోదావరి నది ఒక కాలవ. So even Andhra, in Andhra also canal irrigation is very famous and very popular. ఇది ఏంటంటే లో లయింగ్ ఏరియాస్కి బాగా పనికొస్తుంది అనమాట. అంటే మరి పొలాలు ఎత్తుగా ఉంటే కెనాల్ కింద నుంచి ఉంటే అక్కడి నుంచి పైప్ మోటార్ పెద్ద తెచ్చేసరికల్లా అయిపోతుంది, చాలా ఖర్చు అవుతుంది. సో లో లయింగ్ ఏరియాస్ ఉంటే పక్క నుంచి కెనాల్ ఉంటే ఇట్ విల్ బి ఈజీ ఫర్ దెమ్ టు టేక్ దట్ వాటర్ టు ద ఫీల్డ్స్. So this is an example of canal irrigation. సో ఇలాగా ఒక కెనాల్ త్రూ అవుట్ పాస్ అవుతూ ఉంటే వాళ్ళు ఈ పైపుల ద్వారా కానీ లేకపోతే డైరెక్ట్గా కానీ ఏదో ఒక పద్ధతిలోని వాళ్ళ ఫీల్డ్స్కి వాళ్ళు నీటి సరఫరా చేసుకుంటారు, ఇరిగేషన్ చేస్తారు. సో నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ ట్యాంక్ ఇరిగేషన్. ట్యాంక్, in the name only it suggests it's a tank irrigation. Constructing like they constructed tank or reservoir, a very big body of tank, a pond, small a big pond or small ponds, whatever. They thrive from that thrive from that irrigation than that body only. So tanks we have seen, it can be artificial, it can be man-made, or it can be natural. Like ponds are man-made, other tanks like reservoirs, other things are of artificial. So a tank is developed by constructing a small bund of earth and stones, anything. It can be made through so many types of tanks are there nowadays. So a small bund of earth or stones built across a stream. If imagine this is a stream. Sorry, this is not a stream. This is a stream. So what they do is they construct a small tank here and they channelize the water from this stream and store water in that tanks. So this is tank irrigation. This is also very famous in India, that too in the state of Andhra Pradesh also. So the water impounded by the bund is used for irrigation and other purposes. Not only for irrigation, they use it for even other purposes like drinking or even for any domestic uses. So in this tank, what is the advantage for this tank irrigation is they can store water whenever, if in the time of rainy season there is no use of these tanks, but they store their water and they use it in the summer seasons or when the rains are like inadequate. So advantage of tank irrigation is whenever necessary only they can use it, or else the water is being without any wastage, water is being saved. Okay, so the bund is used for irrigation and other purposes. Tank comprises an important source of irrigation in the states of Karnataka, Plateau, MP, Maharashtra, Odisha, Kerala, Bundelkhand and UP, Rajasthan, other states. When it's come to the scenario of India, pan-India scenario, these all states, even Andhra also uses this tank irrigation. So this is tank irrigation. A small tank, this is source of water. They make some small gates or compound with bunds. They store the water from this stream and they use it for their fields whenever necessary or whenever they want it. Next one is drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is very, nowadays it's been followed by from small to large farmers. Means small farmers means a farmer with small acres of land, and large farmers means a farmer with hundreds of acres of land. So drip irrigation, what they do is in drip irrigation, they arrange small pipes throughout their farms. They arrange small pipes throughout their farms, and through those pipes in a very low quantity water will be like wetting the farm, wetting the soil. So that is drip irrigation. Drip means what? Like everybody knows about the drip. Drip means anything which flows in a small amounts, like single drop, 1 or 2 drops. So very slow irrigation. So in drip irrigation, water is applied near the plant. The water is applied near the root itself only. There's nothing like a flooding. So there is no heavy flooding of water. So that root, the plant takes, it's in a very slow form, and how much it needed, it takes it whenever it needed. So drip irrigation is very famous and very useful also. Without soil erosion, without wastage of water, and it conserves soil. So drip irrigation, water is applied near the plant root through emitters or drippers. So on or below the soil surface at a low rate varying from 2 to 20 liters per hour. So 2 to 20 liters per hour means it's a very slow, like it will take so much time for the plant to soak that water. So 2 to 20 liters per hour depending upon the which crop do you have. The soil moisture is kept at an optimum level with frequent irrigations. So moisture is maintained optimally. It's not too wetty or not too dry. It's in a conducive environment. So this is drip irrigation. So where small pipes are sent through the roots and the kind of sprinklers. And next one is sprinkler irrigation. Sprinkler irrigation. In the name suggests what is a sprinkler, which sprinkles when water is sprinkled from a shower, like have the water sprinkles from a shower. So in this irrigation, what they do is they arrange poles or sprinklers in between the farm, and it's not from the soil. It's not below, it's from the above the plant. It's not below the plant, it's above the plant. Like what we do normally, how do we water a plant? We just pour the water near the roots. But when coming to sprinklers, no, they are not watering the plant near the roots, but from the above, just like a rain. Plants get a feel of rain, just like artificial rain. Imagine if plant has a life, it can talk. So something is water. It's an artificial one only. Water is pouring from above, so it feels like a rain. So sprinkle irrigation is water is sprayed into the air and allowed to fall onto the ground surface, somewhat resembling the rainfall. Exactly. It's just like a rainfall only. The spray is developed by the flow of water under pressure through small orifices or nozzles. Here now, it's controlled by small nozzles. You can see almost in even cities also, lawns, public gardens and lawns use the sprinklers to wet the lawn or a garden. The sprinkler irrigation system is very suitable method for irrigation on uneven lands and shallow soils. Yes. This is suitable for uneven lands. Where the surface of the land is uneven, somewhat it between ups and lows or ups and downs, then this is sprinkler irrigation is very suitable when the soil is shallow. It's not too depth. So sprinkler irrigation. So these are the types of irrigation. That is irrigation means it's an artificial application of water, and types of irrigation mostly practiced in India. Apart from this, we do have many other irrigations, but these are the most common irrigation practices in India. So, when coming to India again, how we include this irrigation, like what kind of systems we do have. So irrigation in India includes a network of major and minor canals. We know we do have canals. We already seen what is a canal irrigation. We do have small networks. It's a network of major and minor canals. Like we take the help of a major canal, and from through that, just like roots in a dendritic, it is channelized for so many farms in a different small minor canals. And from Indian rivers like groundwater, yes, groundwater is very important. How the well irrigation is done is possible only from the groundwater. Under table, a groundwater table. And well-based systems, tanks and other rainwater harvesting projects for agriculture activities. So of all these irrigation types, which is the most famous and most largest one is groundwater. Means well. All over India, you get a well. In each and every village of India has at least one well. One well means you can imagine how many villages we do have. So each and every village do have at least minimum one well. So of all these irrigation types, which is the most practiced one means groundwater system. That is a well irrigation, groundwater system. We know that in India, so Indira Gandhi Canal Indira Gandhi Canal is the largest canal, which is about 650 kilometers. It drains almost Rajasthan. It drains Rajasthan. So that is 650 kilometers long. The largest canal for irrigation purposes is Indira Gandhi Canal. Thank you.